Good morning. Happy Thursday. I'm going to make breakfast this morning. Thank you all for all your comments and likes and shares. It's much appreciated. I actually got a lot of good vibes and good feedback on my quinoa porridge just by the picture. So I thought I would go ahead and make that for you guys this morning. It's really quick. Let me show you the ingredients that went into my wonderful quinoa porridge. Because I'm on a time crunch, I've already cooked this quinoa, but let me show you what kind of quinoa I'm cooking with, okay? So this is Better Body Foods, organic quinoa. This is a good rice replacement, and that's typically what a lot of people use quinoa for, but you can also use it for comfort food. I love porridge. I love when my husband makes it for me. It's wonderful. You can get porridge 10,000 ways. You can have peanut porridge. You can have oat porridge. You can have banana porridge. The list goes on. But just for those that may be watching sugar or, just trying to watch the carbs, this is really good for that. It's gluten-free. It's low glycemic, so you don't have to worry about sugar spikes. Now, what you put in it, you can do whatever you want with it. That's totally up to you. However, this is a little friendly for everybody. Now, I do have some other options up here where you can just get crazy if you want to. If you just want it a little sweet on the sweeter side, you can do that. But I'm taking it a little neutral. So let me show you what else I have that's going into this wonderful quinoa porridge, okay? We're going to top our quinoa with some chia seeds for some nice omegas. And I believe this is loaded with some potassium as well. For those who care about their potassium, I care about mine, that is for sure. We're going to blend our quinoa with some pitted dates. Now, dates are sweet on their own. You don't really have to add anything to them. They're wonderful. They're good for dishes like this. I put them in my smoothies. It's a nice sugar substitute, so you don't have to feel like you're getting bombarded with so much sweet stuff, but it's a good flavor as well, okay? We're also gonna top our quinoa with these beautiful, beautiful blueberries. And we're gonna add some almond slices to the top just for presentation and also good flavor, okay? Almonds are really good and nutritious. We're also gonna blend our quinoa with some vanilla almond milk. So you can see the trend here. We're already making this with naturally sweet things. So you really don't have to get too crazy with overcrowding your porridge. However, if you like it on the sweeter side, you can always add some raw honey. I use this one, but I typically like to go get some local honey when I can get it. I'll do a video on that and where I go and get that from. But I like local honey. It has a more floral kind of taste to it. It's really good. But if I can't get it or I just don't have the time to go get it, I'll settle with some Nate's raw honey. And then we're gonna add some cinnamon, okay? Now, to our quinoa, we used 1 cup of quinoa. It's like rice. So to my 1 cup of quinoa, I added 2 cups of water. I've already cooked it. Quinoa cooks really quick. It cooks in 10 minutes. So there it is right there, nice, steamy and hot. I've already cooked this quinoa, and this was 1 cup of quinoa. I mean, my goodness. So typically what I do with this is if I don't use it all for my meal, I will go ahead and use it for like lunch. So I made some curry chickpeas the other day, and this was my rice substitute for my curry, and it worked really well. So you can take this quinoa, add some veggies to it, and do a wrap with it. You can add it to a salad. You can do whatever you want. You can stir fry some veggies and eat them on top of there. It's whatever you want to do with it. But we're gonna make porridge this morning. So you can see, just following the directions. Literally, all you're doing is just making that 1 cup of quinoa, 2 cups of water, let it boil. When it's at a boiling temperature, then you just cover it, turn the temperature down, and leave it alone. That's it. Now, if you were doing something savory, such as a rice substitute, You can put chicken stock or beef stock or veggie stock, whatever you like. You can put that in there and use it as a rice substitute, and start building your flavors for whatever savory dish that you have. But because we are making this into a porridge, we don't want to change the flavor of it. We're going to add as we go, okay? So as you can see, that 1 cup almost filled this whole pot. So we're going to take about a little under half of this for our porridge, okay? So we're going to put it into our food processor. I am hungry, so I'm trying not to be greedy this morning, but I am hungry, okay? All right, so we're going to do that. And I'll bring you over so you can see what I'm doing. Put that lid back on there. Now, as we're blending, we want to make sure that we incorporate everything now. Now, what you can do, you can also put this back on to heat it again. It's already hot. You might have to nuke it or whatever, but it should be pretty okay, temperature-wise. But for those that like it steaming, you want to sip on it, then you can put some more heat back to it, okay? So, to our quinoa that's in here, we're going to add just about a cup of almond milk, okay? Now, I'm a cinnamon girl. I don't measure with cinnamon because I love it, but just because we're doing this here, I'm gonna add about a teaspoon of cinnamon. Okay. Drop that in there. And then we're gonna add our dates and we're gonna blend it, okay? So to this, I'm gonna go ahead and finish this bag. It's about 6 dates in here. You have to be careful with pitted dates because sometimes, yes, they are pitted. However, there can still be little seed fragments in there. So just be careful. If you see them, just pick it out. All right, it's gonna get a little loud in here, but we're gonna go ahead and blend this. Okay. You want this smooth, so you can just let it ride for a little minute, okay? That's almost to the consistency that I wanted. So I'm gonna let it blend a little bit more. Yum, yum, yum. It smells so good already. All right, so as you can see, just from looking at it, it's nice and blended, okay? So it's almost at that consistency where it's real savory and smooth and silky. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and start putting this into my bowl, but I just wanna make sure that it's really where I want it. That velvety smoothness that a lot of people love in the porridge. So I'm gonna just make sure this is where I want it. I'm gonna let it blend just a little bit more. It's just about there. Okay. so our quinoa is now smooth to the point where we like it. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and take blades out of here because we don't need them in our way. Okay. I told you guys before, I don't like plastic stuff. However, for what we're doing right now, I don't want any metal scraping up the inside of my bowl here. But look at that wonderful, wonderful, wonderful porridge. Okay. Now, mind you, again, that was a whole cup of quinoa. But as you can see, this can feed quite a few people. And I only took a portion of that just for this. And my bowl is almost full. Okay. So this is what the porridge looks like before we do anything else to it. Okay. Now, for those that love the traditional porridge, we're going to add a little bit more almond milk. This is where you can start adding it and making it your own flavor, however you like it, okay? So we're going to add a little bit more. It's a little over about a half a cup there. And we're going to just blend this in just like that. Get that nice, smooth consistency of traditional porridge that's been cooking on the stove for quite some time. Usually when you're making porridge, it takes a little bit. You gotta nurse it, you gotta babysit it, and just get that real smooth flavor to it. Now, if you don't mind a little texture, it still will have some. This is quinoa, okay? It's not like oats where you can blend them to almost nothing. So it will maintain a little bit of texture, but when you make it this way, you'll get that consistency that traditional quinoa porridge provides. So again, I'm a cinnamon girl, so I'm gonna add a little bit more cinnamon to mine. I'm gonna blend this in here because once I add everything else on top, it'll be nice and smooth. Now, if I didn't have the extra quinoa, I would put this back on the stove and let this cook some more, just so I can blend in all of my cinnamon. But I'm gonna use my little microwave because, again, this is a quick breakfast for me. This is not like downtime right now. So I'm gonna put this in the microwave and let that cook up my cinnamon, as we say. Okay, so hey, look at it already. Ooh-wee. So we're gonna let that bubble up a little bit in there. And let's just say about a minute or so. You know, microwaves cook pretty quick. So, but, you know, again, with this, you want to add your own flavor. It's not traditional porridge, but it's a nice substitute for it, especially if you're watching your carbs and sugar. This is a really good replacement for it. Like I said, you can get it smooth. It's nice and velvety. However, it is still quinoa, and it will have some of its texture. But for those who don't mind that, this is a good way to get what you're looking for, which is a full belly with lots of nutrition, and doesn't carry all the weight. And you don't feel so heavy afterwards. You do feel full, but you don't feel that heaviness after eating this. It gets the job done. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and let that count down for these next few seconds. Once we're done with that, then we're going to do our toppings, and that's going to set this right where it needs to be. So that pretty picture you all saw of this lovely quinoa, we're about to recreate that right now. So got a little almond milk up here. Let's get that out the way because we definitely don't want that interfering with what we're doing. To my toppings, I've already started cutting up a half a banana. This I'm going to save for my smoothie for later, the other half. Put that up. Here comes that quinoa. Hopefully this bowl is not too hot so I don't burn my fingers. It's hot, but it's not that hot. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna bring it a little bit closer here. All right, so to our wonderful quinoa, I'm gonna go ahead and start layering some of these beautiful ingredients so we can recreate that wonderful picture. All right, so first, I've already cut up half of a banana. It was a medium-sized banana. So we're gonna go ahead and put that in here. Lovely. Love bananas. All right, and then we're gonna drop our beautiful blueberries. Oh, one trying to run away. So yummy. You guys are just running away today. Don't eat me. All right, and then we're gonna put on some almonds, sliced almonds. So beautiful. I tell you guys, when you eat this, have mercy, you're gonna be so full, okay? And I love almonds, so just drop those right on in there. And then our chia seeds, okay? This is a teaspoon, but I might, you know, do a little something else because I love the way that tastes. So I like that graininess in there. I like that a lot. All right, so look here. There it is. Front and center, there's our beautiful quinoa porridge. It's hot, so I'm gonna let it, you know, cool just for a second. But right here, if you wanna add some more sweetness to it, you can add that wonderful coconut nectar that I showed you guys yesterday. Let me bring it out just for those who didn't watch. You can add pure coconut nectar. Again, this is Wild Country organic coconut nectar. This is good for anybody that has diabetes, or you're pre-diabetic, or you've been told that your sugar is elevated and you're trying to watch the sugar. This is a good substitute to put in for some sweetness, a honey substitute. It's also gluten-free, okay? This is something that you can cook savory dishes or sweet dishes with. Like I said, for me, this is good enough for me. But if I feel like, you know, once I start eating it, if I want something else, then I can add a little drizzle of this or some honey on there. But it's totally up to you. It's your porridge, okay? You can do whatever you want with it. With some hands here, I'm going to just bring it up for one last presentation, and then I'm going to work. But look at that goodness, huh? Look at that. You can't beat it. And like I said, once you eat it, you're full, but you don't have that heavy, heavy belly feeling like with traditional porridge. You're full, you're satisfied, and then you're gonna come back for some more. So there it is, guys, quinoa porridge. It takes no time to cook. Like I said, 10 minutes on the quinoa, and then you just do what you wanna do with it. Put all kinds of fruits, strawberries, you know, blueberries. This is just my choice here. Just for that added potassium in there for me. I have to put bananas in it, but you can make it however you want to. So I hope you liked the recipe. You really did like the picture. So there it is in the flesh. That's the quinoa porridge. Enjoy. Have a great day. I may come back later on. We'll see. We'll see. But anyway, have a good day. See you next time.